All right. First and foremost, yes, in the Dallas game, you might be able to hear it a little bit. Second of all, holy cow. Okay. The Colts came to Arrowhead with all their pastime stats and all their stats with Andrew Luck, and people should quit sleeping on the Colts as if anybody ever said that they were sleeping on the Colts to begin with. If anything, the Colts. So the Colts came into Arrowhead. They had the pastime stats. They had Kansas City not winning a home playoff game in the past 20, I think it was like 25 to be exact. They've never, ever in their franchise hosted an AFC championship. The last time they did host it was an AFL championship 47 years ago. Andrew Luck, let me back up. First year starters and rookies are 0-6 in the playoffs against veteran quarterbacks. He snapped that. Just Andrew Luck never lost at Arrowhead. Snap that. I mean, all those pastime stats, all the Chiefs fans saying, yeah, you're right, the Colts are probably going to win. You even had our support, and there are still dumbasses on here that will sit here and say, oh, don't sleep on the Colts. Everybody was behind, even our fan base was behind you. Even we were like, yeah, we expect to lose, but we're going to show up and support our team. Well, guess what? They got their asses handed to them. They got treated like the Colts should have got treated. Period. They did. They got treated exactly like the Colts should have been treated. The Colts came in. They were not a superior team to Kansas City, even though we had to listen to the dumbass analysts for the last week and a half talk about how the Colts are the scariest team in football. Really? That you call that scary? Yeah, you're right. That is scary if you're a Colts fan. Horrendous. Any logical statistics would have looked at this and went, yeah, the Chiefs are going to murder the Colts. But we didn't say that. We didn't sit back and say, yeah, the Chiefs should probably blow the Colts out. But even I gave the Colts the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, it'll probably be a close one. Our entire fan base, the analysts, everybody was behind the Colts. Everyone. There wasn't a damn person that wasn't behind the Colts. So they came in with that. They came in with all the snazzy ass records and shit like that and on all the bullshit from the past. And what did I say? The streak has to end eventually. Everything comes to an end. It may not be this game. It may not be next year. It all comes to an end eventually. That's the way this league works. And I still had people saying, well, they ain't won a playoff game at home in like 25 years. They ain't going to do it tomorrow. They were riding the Chiefs off before it even happened. And you know what? The Colts came into this game and they thought, there's no way. And you know what? They got the shit kicked out of them for it. They really did. And they got what they deserved. This defense and this team treated Andrew Luck just like they're the Colts. They're the Colts. They didn't play anybody all year besides Dallas. Andrew Luck didn't do shit to win that game. His defense won it. The Colts they weren't a great team. They were good. They deserved their playoff spot. Andrew Luck was a decent quarterback, by far comeback player of the year. But he sure as hell isn't the MVP. And he sure as hell isn't elite enough to beat a team like that. And he proved it. What did I say? The Colts have not played a team this year like Kansas City. Besides New England. New England was the only exception. And they got the shit kicked out of them by New England, and they got the shit kicked out of them by Kansas City. What did I say about the defense? The defensive backs haven't played that great, but the pass rush is crazy good. And I said Andrew Luck is a decent quarterback until he gets pressured. This defense had this guy throwing freaking lollipops all game. Lollipops. And if he won that, he was running for his life. That's the best O-line in football? That's what you call the best O-line in football. They said it. They said it. That's the best. That's the best O-line in football. That's what they call it. You know what? You know who's got the best O-line in football? New England. That's who's got the best O-line in football because nobody ever touches Tom Brady. That's who's got the best O-line in football. I don't care how big their names are. I don't care about any of that shit. The best O-line in football is New England, hands down, because nobody touches Tom Brady. You know what? This is such a great moment because now I get to sit there. Now I get to be the one that can sit there and rub dog shit in everybody's face that sit there and wrote this team off Saturday and said, oh, that'll never happen. Yeah, really? Well, it happened. It happened. And if Andrew Luck wouldn't have had that blocked punt, he would have looked even worse. Now, I did think Andrew Luck outpassed Patrick Mahomes, maybe, because the second half they hardly passed it at all. The receivers dropped a lot of passes. Of course, it was a sloppy game. Damian Williams just took a shit on that defense. I mean, it was hands down. Damian Williams just trashed that defense. Oh, man, this got to be the best defense left in the playoffs, or the hottest defense. Really, who they played? Well, they played the number 5 offense, got their ass beat. Well, they played the number 1 offense, and they got beat even worse. You be the judge. You be the judge. But you know what? The difference between this game, statistics. Kansas City was statistically way better, and you know what? They proved it. They proved it. But everybody wanted to sit back and say, well, that ain't going to happen. It hadn't happened in the past 25 years. Oh, was Patrick Mahomes there 25 years ago? Was Damian Williams there 25 years ago? How about Bob Sutton? How about Andy Reid? How about... None of them. None of them were there. None of them were there. So shut up. And this is the proof. I had to listen to this shit for a week and a half, and I never said anything. I just went along with it. I was like, yeah, Colts are probably going to win. Colts are probably going to win. I'll support my team, but yeah, the Colts have the advantage. They had every odd possible to win this football game. And they came in and they choked on their own throw-up. They choked on their own vomit. Oh, I just hit the wrong button. Sorry. Anyways. So statistic-wise. Andrew Luck had a touchdown pass. Patrick Mahomes had a rushing TD. Anecdotal. Andrew Luck, 203 yards, no interceptions. He should have threw a pick. But Steven Nelson dropped it. Patrick Mahomes, 27 for 41, 278 yards, so he outpassed Andrew Luck. He didn't score a touchdown through the air, but he scored one on the ground. This game, it was total annihilation. The Colts, when the game first started, I looked at my grandfather and I said, you know what? The Colts look like they don't even want to be out there. The Colts look like they don't even want to be out there. They look slow. They look sluggish. They look like they don't want to hit anybody. Andrew Luck sat his sorry ass on the bench for most of the first half. And you know what? The reason I think Andrew Luck ended up with that many passing yards was simply for the fact that he had to pass it at the end of the game. It's the only reason. Marlon Mack. This run defense has been horrible all season. Marlon Mack got shut down today. Shut down. He had 9 carries, 46 yards. Why didn't they run the ball very much? Well, they didn't have it very much. Andrew Luck couldn't complete a pass. His guys couldn't hang on to it. Our guys couldn't hang on to some of theirs, but they still made shit happen. The defense, my God, this defense played amazing. If this defense can play like this next week with whoever we play, we have a solid chance of going to the Super Bowl. Was this the better defense that we played in, or that we would have to play in the AFC? Yes, I'll admit that. The Colts had the better defense. They have a better defense, in my opinion, than the Patriots do. And I have a reasoning behind that, and that's for the simple fact that now the Patriots are going to have to play on the road, period. And the Patriots on the road are day and night from the Patriots at home. I'm not saying anything. I'm not speculating anything. I'm saying if this defense plays like this against Tom Brady and gets pass rush, and our offense plays this good or a little bit better, because they should have scored more points, but they didn't want to take a chance on a field goal because of the field. And there were certain things they didn't want to do, so they went for it on fourth downs. Which, by the way, they were what, 3 for 4 on fourth downs or some crazy shit like that? If this team plays like this, in my opinion, the Colts were probably the more mediocre team in the AFC bracket. I'll admit it. Playing Tom Brady and the New England Patriots would be a whole different ballgame than playing here. And yes, I would rather play the Patriots than the Chargers. Number one, because I think the Patriots are going to win. Number two, I think the Patriots are the best team in the AFC. If we can beat them, we deserve to go. The Chargers, you don't want them coming to Kansas City. They're a divisional opponent. They know us the best. You do not want them coming to Kansas City. Do I think they would beat us twice in 1 year? No, I don't think that. Just for the simple fact they haven't done that since forever. I mean, it's been forever. But that's the past. Like I said, divisional games can go either way. You do not want an opponent coming into your house that last beat you in your stadium. They were the last ones to beat you in that stadium. And it was a comeback, and they know you like that. You don't want that. Because the Chargers would be sitting there thinking, okay, you won the AFC West, we're going to take your AFC championship. I don't want the Chargers at home. I don't think Kansas City's afraid of the Chargers. I don't want them at home. It goes both. We know them really well, too. I want the Patriots. I want the best goddamn football team the AFC has to offer. And I think that's the Patriots. And I feel like if we beat them, we deserve to go. If we don't, we lost to a damn good football team. Plain and simple. Marlon Mack didn't do shit. T.Y. Hilton didn't do shit. Andrew Luck didn't do shit. Their defense didn't do shit. Damian Williams, 25 carries, 129 yards. Tyreek Hill, 1 carry, 36 yards. Patrick Mahomes threw for 278. Didn't have a passing touchdown, but he did have a rushing touchdown. Sammy Watkins came back, and holy crap did he make a difference. He had a huge catch right out of the gate. Travis Kelce, 7 catches, 108 yards. Tyreek Hill, 8 catches, 72 yards. Almost caught another one down the sidelines. Sammy Watkins, 6 catches, 62 yards. Damian Williams, 5 catches, 25 yards. Team stats. Total yards. Indy had 263. Kansas City had 433. Passing yards, 176 on Indy. 253 on Kansas City. Rushing yards, 87 for Indy, 180 for Kansas City. That is massive. Average yards of play. The Colts averaged 5, probably because of the end of the game. Kansas City averaged 5.6. Points scored, 31-13. Fumbles lost. Indy lost 1, Kansas City lost 1. So you can't blame the turnovers. No interceptions on both sides. Andrew Luck should have threw 1. Domination. That's all it is. Domination. Third down efficiency. The Colts didn't convert a third down all day. They went like 4 straight possessions going 3 and out. How does it feel to have an Alex Smith? How does it feel? How does it feel to have an Alex Smith? How does it feel to have an Alex Smith that just plays whenever he wants? The Colts offense only scored 6 points because Adam Vinatieri missed a field goal, which was, by the way, the shortest field goal ever missed in a playoff game. That's a record. And he also missed an extra point. Kansas City was 28% on third down. We had the ball a lot, so that's not bad. Time of possession, 39 minutes and 49 seconds for Kansas City, 20 minutes and 11 seconds for the Colts. Penalties, here's another one. Kansas City only had 6, the Colts had 10. He drew them off sides a lot today. Look, all you guys that are saying all that shit about the past, here's my proof about being a better team. Here's my proof about being a different team. They're even completely different from the regular season. Defense is playing lights out. Offense is still playing great. So the defense is in check now, so they're playing really good. The penalties have got cleaned up. Kansas City's offense is still rolling. This is not the team you've seen earlier in the season. This is not the team with no defense now. They only had one pass interference call all day. One. And T.Y. Hilton dropped an easy touchdown pass in the end zone. Or not, what's his nut? Number 10. I don't even know who he is. They called pass interference, but he wasn't even in the picture. So they probably meant to call defensive holding. Here's where I owe an apology. Charvarius Ward, when you played against Seattle, what was that, 3 or 4 weeks ago? I said there was no reason why he should be on the field, period. He had a shit ton of pass interference calls. He looked like dog shit. They caught it over him all game. I owe you an apology. Something happened where the coaches got him lined up or he just started playing better. That dude played like Richard Sherman today. He didn't have a pick. Steven Nelson should have had one, but he didn't. That dude played lights out today. His coverage was lockdown. I mean, they were not throwing it on him, period. The only category that the Colts beat us in was penalties. So good job, Colts. Domination. Total domination. No doubt about it. Total domination. This defensive line was up Andrew Luck's ass just all day. D Ford, Justin Houston. And you know what? I can tell you right now, nobody wants to win a Super Bowl more than Justin Houston. He knows he's getting old. He knows he's getting up there. He knows for a fact if he don't win one soon, he's never going to see one. You know, when they lost to Seattle, I told them if they lost that game, they didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. And I said that, and I still stand by that. Did I think they would change like this? Oh, hell no. I had no idea their defense was going to shape up like that. I had no idea because most of the penalties were on the defense. Today, they were mostly on the offense, but during the regular season, they were mainly on the defense. I had no clue that they were going to take a bunch of random no-names and stick them on defense and make them play that way. Andrew Luck, I don't think he's the greatest quarterback. I think he's a little bit overrated. But he's not a scrub. The Colts, they may have been the worst seed in the AFC, but they're not a scrub. I think they were the worst team in the playoff bracket. That was my opinion until they beat Houston. So there you go. Houston was probably the worst team in the playoff bracket. The other AFC team was Baltimore. I don't think they were the worst. I think they just played like shit. But Houston, yeah, they straight up beat Houston. Houston shot themselves in the foot a lot. I had no idea they was going to do this. I thought they were going to be the same team. I thought they were going to commit all kinds of penalties. But what did I say? Andrew Luck's not going to win a shootout. His defense ain't going to help him. Nobody's slowing down Mahomes yet. Nobody's going to stop him. That's exactly what I said. And what happened? Their defense failed to slow them down. They were slow, sluggish. They didn't want to hit anybody. Just like I said they would. And Andrew Luck didn't do jack shit. He got pressured. He started throwing lollipops. He started throwing passes. You didn't even know where they were going. He started fumbling. He's not a guy that deals with pressure. That's how you beat Andrew Luck. And this same formula, that's how you beat Tom Brady. You got to pressure him. If you don't pressure Tom Brady or Phillip Rivers, you're not going to win. It's that simple. The Colts are the same way. If you don't pressure the quarterback, you aren't going to win. And not only that, here's why the defense is so impressive. All year, It's been, oh yeah, they got a good pass rush, but their run defense is terrible. And it was true. I don't know how the hell you pull that off. Usually, if your pass rushers are really good, they can stop them in the trenches. Today, Marlon Mack. Okay, let's talk about Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack is probably one of the better running backs in the NFL. He's like the hidden gem right now. Nobody talks about him, but he's really good. Okay? I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he broke 1,000 yards this year, and he was out for 5 games. Marlon Mack got shut down today. That was the worst run defense in the league that they just played. And probably one of the best running backs in the NFL got completely shut down. Completely shut down. He had 46 yards on 9 carries, which isn't bad for 9 carries, but when you're not on the field, you can't hand them the ball, and then you're forced to pass it. I am so proud of this defense, of this team. Mainly the defense. The defense stepped up so big in this game. It was unreal. Big guys in the trenches were batting every single pass he tried to throw. Coverage was there. I mean, everything was perfect. That's how you win playoff games, being perfect. And just for anybody that's looking for excuses, in the playoffs right now, as of right now in the playoffs, out of everybody, AFC, NFC, and I understand, Kansas City didn't play last week and some of these other teams didn't. Here's your stats. Andrew Luck is leading the postseason in passing, 425 yards. Patrick Mahomes is third. He only played 1 game. Marlon Mack's leading the postseason in rushing, 194 yards. Receiving yards, T.Y. Hilton's leading, 145. Sacks, Kenny Moore is leading with 3. Tackles, Darius Leonard is leading with 27. The only thing that they weren't leading in was interceptions, and that was Adrian Amos with 1. And yes, the Colts did get a pick, but they were offside, so it was a free play. So he took a shot. The Colts played 1 more game than everybody else. I understand that. But before you use an excuse, you had a passing leader, a rushing leader, a receiving leader, a tackles leader, and a sack leader in the playoffs, and you lost. And there ain't a damn Kansas City Chief on this, except for Damian Williams, Patrick Mahomes, and that's it. I guess Travis Kelce could tie at number 5 with receiving yards with Dontrell Inman. But guess what? He's from Indianapolis too. So there you go. There you have it. There you have it. Before you make excuses. I'm actually trying to figure out what Marlon Mack's rushing yards were in the regular season. Now that I blurted that out. Okay, Marlon Mack was not in the top 5. I will say that. Joe Mixon finished up there, which is kind of surprising. Here's another thing. For all you people that said, oh, the Chiefs won't be the same without Kareem Hunt. That's our running back that just got a 2-year extension. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. He just got an extension. Okay. So apparently he didn't break 1,000 yards. I'm actually still trying to find Marlon Mack. Here he is. He had 908 yards in the regular season. Still damn good for missing 5 games. I still consider Marlon Mack one of the best running backs in the NFL. He's 16th on the list, but he missed 5 games. And he still got 108 rushing yards. Not bad. But yeah, going back to the Kansas City running back thing. Oh, they won't be the same without Kareem Hunt. We won without Kareem Hunt. We won with him. We're winning with Damian Williams now. We won a playoff game without Kareem Hunt. We couldn't win one with him. Do I think he would help? Yeah, of course. But you know what? I'm going to tell you right now. The only thing Damian Williams lacks that Kareem Hunt doesn't is probably a little bit of power. But today, he ran with a shitload of power. I would say Kareem Hunt's probably more powerful than Damian Williams. But as goes for everything else, he catches the ball like Kareem Hunt. He runs like Kareem Hunt. He's elusive like Kareem Hunt. 126 yards in a playoff game. We scored points without Kareem Hunt. We're scoring points with him. We scored with Kareem Hunt. We scored without him. One player is not going to dictate this team. The defense. Guess what? Ron Parker got sat out this game. Orlando Scandrick got sat out this game. Charvarius Ward played. And Jordan Lucas played. Two guys that played one game against Seattle all season, and their defense plays like this. That is insane. That is insane. Maybe that's what we needed. Whatever defensive scheme Bob Sutton came up with against Oakland, it works. It works. Look, whoever we're going to play next week, we got our work cut out for us. It's going to be a hell of a fight. If Kansas City makes it to the Super Bowl, I'm not going to know what to think of it. I'm really not. But if they play like this, they got a real good chance. I still think Kansas City could have scored more points. Like I said, the field was kind of soupy. They didn't want to kick a long field goal. I think Harrison Butker would have stood a good chance, though. He was kicking pretty well for how bad the field was. But I like the aggressiveness from Andy Reid. I really do. Get it at midfield. Hey, let's go for it. For all of you that are wondering right now, the Rams are winning 20-7 against the Cowboys. I wouldn't mind seeing the Cowboys win this game. I do think the Rams are the superior team. The Cowboys are definitely not playing very good right now. They just threw 2 straight incompletions that should have been clear completions. So Dak's not really playing that great right now. They just went 3 and out. I don't know what else to say. This team, well, another thing is, there was a possession where we didn't score. We got stopped on our one and only 4th down we got stopped on. And Tyreek Hill, it was just out of his reach. Missed a ball down the sideline. Patrick Mahomes overthrew him by a hair. And that was the same drive where on that 3rd down, he had Travis Kelce wide open on a post. And he overthrew that one, and that one should have been picked off. The kid dove for it and missed it. But Steven Nelson had hit one in his chest. So I guess you could say there should have been an interception on both sides. But I'm proud of this team, man. Absolutely proud of them. Patrick Mahomes came in, no pressure, got banged up, still played. He got tackled, and his knee ended up getting extended over somebody's face mask, and it went like, this is the back of the knee, this is the front of the knee, and the face mask is here. And it got bent. So it bent backwards. And at first, the game was 14-0. I'm sitting there going, oh, shit. Here we go. This is how we're going to lose. Not that I doubt Chad Henne, but with the way that defense was playing, Chad Henne may have been able to win us the game, honestly. But he can't do what Patrick Mahomes does. How about that for adversity? How about that for adversity? You got all those pastime stats, all these bullshit stats. Well, nobody's ever done it. Why would Patrick Mahomes do it? Patrick Mahomes has done shit this season that nobody's been able to do. Only the greats have been able to do, let alone a first-year guy. And he snapped even more records today. So, if anybody's got any more questions about adversity, can Patrick Mahomes do this? Can he do that? Yeah, he can. And he's going to be a hell of a quarterback coming up. This kid, if we're going to win a Super Bowl, it's going to be because of him. Now, here's where the real question comes in. If Kansas City either wins the AFC Championship, the Super Bowl, or hell, even loses next week, but they only lose by like 3 or something, should you keep Bob Sutton around? Because, and here's why I say that, and I have trashed Bob Sutton. I was pissed at Bob Sutton. I was sitting there going, man, he should have retired. He should have just stayed in retirement last year. Here's why I say that. He put in a bunch of players today that played one game. This is a win or going home, a win or go home situation. Either Bob Sutton's sitting there going, well, people are either going to blame me for this loss or they're going to thank me for this win. That's what Bob Sutton was saying to himself. He was either going to look like a total idiot or a genius. One of the two. He played a bunch of players that played one game this season and looked like total dog shit. And he played that same personnel and they only gave up 13 points. And there's people that say Andrew Luck is better than Russell Wilson. If you win it, do you try to keep him out of retirement? He obviously made adjustments. And they worked. So, I'm going to make another video tomorrow following up who we're going to play, who all made it, who all went home. For all those Colts fans that talked all that shit, and well, our team can score really fast. Oh, can they? Can they? Can they? I remember a guy told me that in the comments. Yeah, but the Colts can score really fast. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They got blanked for 3 quarters against the Texans defense. They scored 21 in the first. There's your fast start. But they got blanked the entire 3 quarters. The other 3 quarters, they didn't score shit. And then they come to Kansas City and they get swallowed up and they only score 6 points all game. Yeah, you're right. And you know what my response to that at the time was? Kansas City can score fast too. Watch. And they did. They came out of the gates like a bull. Awesome. Awesome. All those streaks can go to hell. All the analysts can quit talking shit. Because you know what? We blew the Colts out and we sent their ass packing. So, for everybody that doubted us, and that includes myself because I had my own doubts. Look, I'm a fan that's crazy for my team, but I'm a rational fan. I'm a down-to-earth fan. I understand what was at stake. I understand what, I understand what my team's done in the past. I get that. I don't have to be reminded. I understand all that. I do. And I had my doubts. I said, you know what? I'm going to expect them to lose. Because how could I not? Look at the odds. I expected them to lose. But I'm going to root for my team and I'm going to support them. And I'll be there whether they lose, and I'll be there whether they win. And I'll watch the whole game, whether it's an ass stomping or we're kicking somebody's ass. So there you have it. There you have it, Cowherd. There's your MVP. There's your MVP. That's the point of the whole video. We beat the shit out of the Colts. We sent them packing. We made them feel like shit. And we sent them back to Indy. Because you know what? The Colts hadn't played anybody like Kansas City. Besides New England. And New England whooped their ass too. So there you go. There you go. Besides divisional teams, which Houston would be the only good divisional team, they played 3 decent teams this year. The Cowboys, which they beat 23-0. Defense won that game. You're seeing it right now. When Dak plays great, he plays great. When he plays like shit, he plays like shit. He was playing like shit that day. Defense made him play like shit. Andrew Luck didn't do anything for it. So, they beat the Cowboys. They played New England, got their ass kicked, and then they came to Arrowhead and got their ass kicked. So the 3 decent teams they played this year, they won one of them. And it wasn't because of the guy that you claim. It was because of the defense. This is who the Colts are. Kansas City treated the Colts like the team that they are. They weren't as good as what they perceived to be. But I rode out the storm, and I didn't say anything. I let the Colts fans have their moments. Oh, yeah, the Colts are decent. Yeah, which they are. They're a decent football team. They're a good football team. They got to the playoffs on a playoff game against a team that's never won a playoff game in their franchise existence. Oh, wait, yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. They won one against Oakland, who had a third-string quarterback in 2016. My mistake. And then proceeded to go to New England and get their ass kicked. By the way, they had Brock Osweiler that year. That's when they paid that massive amount of money for him to be there. One playoff game against third-string quarterback, and they beat that guy, and they move on and get the shit kicked out of him. The Colts are who we thought they were. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. This next team we play, whoever it is, we got a good shot. Here's our chance to go. We've been downed upon for as long as my existence. We've been shit on by everybody. We've been doubted by the analysts. Like I heard some guy say the other day, an analyst, well, you know, you don't really feel pressure when you know you're going to die. So the Colts are just going to come in and win. That's all there is to it. No, they didn't feel pressure because they said, look, the odds are against us. What's the worst thing that could happen? We lose and people talk shit for another year? That's what it came down to. They were calm because they knew the Colts couldn't compete. They knew the Colts didn't have a great chance against Kansas City. They knew it. They knew it. And you know what? From the second that ball was kicked off, from the second it was kicked off, and from the second you seen Andrew Luck on his first drive, you knew they just didn't want to be there. They didn't want to be there. They didn't want none. They didn't want to play. They didn't want to move on. They didn't want to win. They didn't want jack shit to do with this team in that stadium. They didn't want anything to do with it. They didn't want the weather. They didn't want the fans. Fans were throwing snowballs at them. That's all there is to say. The Colts thought that they were just going to stroll up in here and, yeah, well, the past says it all. They were just going to stroll up in here and beat Kansas City. And they got their asses annihilated for it. And they got exactly what they deserved. So, Colts fans, shout out to you, because maybe we should have slept on the Colts. Maybe we should have said they were a shitty team. Maybe we should have said they shouldn't have any business being here. Maybe we should have said the obvious. Maybe we should have. But you know what? Even Colin Cowherd picked the Chiefs. And he loves Andrew Luck. That should have told you something right there. As much as he loves Andrew Luck, he wants to get married to him. He had no confidence in him. And he had no confidence in that team. 31-13. There's why. There's why. So, if we get Tom Brady, we'll have to sit here and listen to, well, he's never beat Tom Brady. He was the closest one to him. Nobody under, under 25 has beat Tom Brady before. Keep your eyes open. It could happen. Anything's possible at this point because the impossible just happened. The impossible just happened. So, Colts fans, have a good rest of the offseason. And make sure you save a warm spot for your ass while you're watching us through